You have to actually want a life with someone.
When Whoopi Goldberg stepped into New York Fashion Week that evening, the reaction was immediate and intense in a way few public figures ever experience. At 69 years old, the EGOT winner arrived not just as a Hollywood legend, but as a woman who looked noticeably different from the version the public had grown used to seeing. Cameras flashed, conversations paused, and within moments, her appearance was circulating across social media platforms at lightning speed. Some people praised her for looking refreshed, lighter, and confident, while others seemed unsure of how to react at all. What was meant to be a glamorous night quickly turned into a moment of collective shock, fascination, and debate, proving once again that when Whoopi Goldberg enters a room, she doesn't just show up, she shifts the atmosphere. Praise, concern, and a divided internet. The internet responded exactly how the internet always does, loudly, quickly, and without agreement. One side applauded her transformation, calling her radiant, strong, and inspiring, especially for women approaching their 70s. Others expressed concern, wondering if the change was too dramatic or if her health had been compromised along the way. What made the moment so striking was not simply the difference in opinions, but how fast those opinions hardened into judgments. Within minutes, comment sections were split down the middle, with admiration clashing against worry and celebration colliding with skepticism. It became clear that this wasn't just about fashion or appearance. It was about how deeply people project their own fears and expectations onto public figures. When fashion became a flashpoint. As attention grew, her outfit itself became part of the conversation, proving how quickly a discussion can drift from curiosity into critique. Some viewers praised her bold, unconventional style, saying it reflected exactly who Whoopi has always been, unapologetic and original. Others were less kind, describing the look as strange or ill-fitting, as if fashion should suddenly follow rules when it comes to older women. The focus on her clothing revealed something deeper: society's discomfort when someone refuses to age quietly or predictably. What should have been a creative fashion moment instead became another example of how quickly individuality can be misunderstood when it doesn't fit mainstream expectations. A reminder that you can't win public approval. The reaction to that night highlighted a harsh truth. Whoopi has known her entire career. There is no version of herself that will satisfy everyone. When she was heavier, critics mocked her appearance. When she lost weight, critics accused her of going too far. The rules seemed to change depending on who was judging, but the judgment itself never stopped. That contradiction revealed how impossible it is for women, especially older women, to exist publicly without being scrutinized. No matter the choice, the world always has an opinion, and approval is often conditional, fleeting, and impossible to maintain. The story didn't begin on a red carpet. What many people failed to realize was that this moment did not begin under bright lights or camera flashes. The real turning point happened years earlier, far away from Fashion Week, in a much quieter and more personal setting. In 2022, while filming the powerful historical drama Till, Whoopi gave a deeply moving performance that earned widespread respect. Yet after one screening, a seemingly casual comment from a stranger landed with unexpected weight. The woman praised the film, but mentioned how realistic and uncomfortable the fat suit looked. That suit did not exist. What the stranger thought was costuming was simply Whoopi's real body, and that realization stayed with her long after the conversation ended. A comment that changed everything. Whoopi later admitted that the moment shook her in a way she hadn't expected. For most of her life, she had been comfortable in her skin and largely immune to outside opinions about her body. but hearing her own body mistaken for a costume forced her to see herself through someone else's eyes for the first time. It wasn't anger that followed, it was reflection. That comment became a mirror she couldn't turn away from, not because of vanity, but because it sparked a deeper concern. It wasn't about how she looked on screen anymore. It was about what her body was carrying, enduring, and risking as she grew older. From embarrassment to awareness. The emotion that followed wasn't simple embarrassment. It was fear mixed with honesty. Whoopi has never pretended to be delicate, but that moment made her think seriously about health, longevity, and the physical demands of aging. She later shared that she realized her weight was no longer just a personal preference or a style statement. It was a factor in her future. That awareness didn't come with self-loathing or panic, but with a quiet acknowledgement that change might be necessary if she wanted more time, more energy, and more freedom in the years ahead. A difficult and uneven journey. Like many people, Whoopi's path toward change was not smooth or simple. She tried various approaches, adjusted her lifestyle, and faced the familiar cycle of progress followed by setbacks. Weight loss was not instant, and motivation wasn't constant. What made her journey particularly challenging was knowing that no matter what she did, public commentary would continue. Even as she worked privately, online discussions about her body never really stopped. Yet instead of withdrawing, she chose to speak honestly about the struggle, admitting that it wasn't easy, quick, or glamorous. Choosing transparency over perfection. One of the most defining parts of Whoopi's transformation was her decision to be open about it. In an industry where image is often carefully controlled, she chose transparency instead. She acknowledged that medical support played a role in her health journey, making it clear that this wasn't about shortcuts or secrecy, but about finding something that worked for her body under professional guidance. That honesty was refreshing to many, but it also reignited debate. Some praised her for being real, while others questioned the role of medication in modern health conversations. Still, Whoopi never framed her choice as a universal solution, only as her own. Strength beyond appearance. Despite the noise, Whoopi remained steady. She didn't argue with critics or chase validation. Instead, she continued doing what she has always done, showing up to work, speaking her mind, and living on her own terms. On The View, her voice remained as sharp and influential as ever. In film and television, her presence continued to command respect. Her transformation didn't replace her identity. It simply became one chapter in a much larger story, defined by talent, courage, and longevity. A broader cultural conversation. What surprised many people was how quickly Whoopi's personal decision evolved into a larger cultural discussion. Her experience opened conversations about how aging women are treated in the public eye, how bodies are policed regardless of size, and how health choices are often reduced to gossip. If someone as accomplished and outspoken as Whoopi Goldberg could still be criticized from all sides, it raised serious questions about whose bodies are ever truly left alone. Her story became less about weight and more about respect. Still moving forward. Even after the controversy faded from headlines, Whoopi didn't slow down. At an age when many expect quiet retirement, she remained active, engaged, and creatively involved. Her career continued not in spite of her transformation, but alongside it. The change did not define her. It simply accompanied her into a new phase of life. And perhaps that is the most powerful takeaway. Transformation doesn't mean erasure. It means continuation. A legacy that goes beyond the noise. In the end, Whoopi Goldberg's story was never about Fashion Week, weight loss, or internet debates. It was about resilience, honesty, and the courage to make personal decisions in a world that constantly demands explanations. She didn't ask for permission, and she didn't wait for approval. She chose herself, her health, her future, her time. And by doing so, she reminded millions that survival is not vanity, and change is not weakness. It is, sometimes, the bravest thing a person can do.